Hey HCA, Executive Vice President Cody Burkham here with you. Going to give you a Week 8 legislative update. This covers March 3rd through today, March 7th. Last week, you'll remember that I had a quick clip that we had to get going on. Had to get over to another meeting, but we'll update you on what happened at the Capitol this week. We want to start out with HB 1407. This is no stranger to you, all that have watched our videos. This is the Truth in Labeling bill that Mr. Hillman and Senator Malik, Representative Hillman and Senator Malik brought forward that requires, truth in labeling on different ag products, beef, poultry, pork, things like that. Do want to give another positive update on this piece of legislation. On Monday, March 3rd, it passed the House. And it passed with a resounding vote of 87 yeas, 4 nays, and 9 not voting. So that was definitely a great vote. Really strong support for 1407 and truth in labeling there on the House side. We hope to see that in the Senate Ag Committee next Tuesday, I believe, is when that is scheduled to be taken up in the Senate Ag Committee. So we're definitely going to be there to support it. Even though we've got our area spring conferences going on right now, be in Hope that day. I will be here at the Capitol and then going to run back down to Hope for that. But I'll be here at the Capitol to watch that one and voice our support for HB 1407 if needed. Another one that we mentioned last week was SB 336, which provides the revenues for the highway funding issues that we need to get taken care of here in the state. That's from Senator Terry Rice. This passed the House on Monday, March the 3rd, and it was a fairly long debate, I believe, for that piece of legislation. There was some opposition to that piece of legislation because of the increases that we're going to see at the pumps in the gas tax and diesel tax. Once again, I'll reiterate, this is not something that the ACA took a stance on, whether for or against. I'm just giving this information to you as what it is, information. It passed the House on Monday, March the 3rd with 71 yeas, 26 nays, 1 not voting, and 2 present. So had almost 3/4 support there in the House to pass this piece of legislation. It went back to the Senate after it was amended in the House. It went back to the Senate on Tuesday, and once again it passed the Senate with 25 yeas, 8 nays, and 2 not voting. So I'd have to go back and check, but I believe that's a lower amount voting yay in the Senate than when it first went through the Senate. But once again, that has passed, and now it has been sent to the governor for his signature, so that will become Arkansas law. Another piece that we mentioned last week is HB 1497. This creates civil immunity for owners of stolen ag equipment. So like I mentioned last week, if you have a tractor that's sitting under your barn on your property, somebody comes by and steals it and goes out and runs somebody over and kills another person or does damage, under old law you would have been held responsible. If this bill passes, you will not be held responsible for that. That was by Representative Vaught, and something we certainly supported or support. It passed the House floor the other day with the vote of 94 yeas, 0 nays, and 6 representatives not voting. So once again, another strong show of support for Arkansas agriculture in that bill with 94 yeas. We appreciate them voting yay on that. We hope to see that in the Senate Judiciary Committee this next week. Either, I'm going to say it's probably going to be on the 12th, also on a Tuesday. So kind of a big week next week for several ag bills coming up. One bill that, kind of a new bill that I want to mention, it was introduced last week, but I didn't mention it because of our time constraints. But a new bill that I want to mention is SB 408 by Senator Matthew Pitch and Representative Deanne Vaught. SB 408 requires disclosure requirements for real estate transactions. So pretty much what this does is if somebody comes in and they buy a house in a rural area or even an urban area, it defines in the bill with the numbers when this has to be signed. A closing agent, whether that be a bank or a lawyer, anybody that acts as a closing agent for a real estate transaction, has to put in a piece of paper stating to the buyer that they are buying a piece of property, a home or a piece of property in a rural area or close to a rural area where agriculture operations may be taking place, and that agriculture operations could generate noise, dust, odors, or just other conditions that come with production agriculture. It's just saying, verifying that I know this is going on, and I know I might, hear some noise or smell something every once in a while, and recognizing that Arkansas does have a right to farm law, and so just really trying to help the producers out, especially in that northwest corner of the state where we're seeing a lot of people move in, and it's really putting pressure on the agriculture producers in that area of the state. So this is something that the ACA certainly supports as well. Just feel like it's a good idea. This passed the Senate Ag Committee yesterday, March 6th, and so hopefully we'll see a vote on that sometime next week in the Senate. I guess if it passed on Thursday, you'll probably see it on the Senate floor probably Monday, maybe Tuesday. So certainly support that. Another fairly new bill that I want to mention is SB 460. Now, what SB 460 does, it amends the law regarding feral hogs. As we all know, we have a huge feral hog problem here in Arkansas and across the South. Billions of dollars worth of damage are done by these feral hogs every year, and the ACA actually serves on the Feral Hog Reduction Task Force Committee. And this is a piece of legislation that they really asked for to address some different clarification issues and stuff in current law regarding feral hogs. It's by Senator Hammer. There's several clarification and changes to the law, but one thing that I do want to point out that this law does when changing is if this law is passed, if you were caught releasing a wild hog, they changed from just revoking your hunting and fishing license and a fine to a fine of no less than $1,000 and no more than $5,000, and there is a prison sentence that will not exceed 90 days. So they're really serious about the release of feral hogs. I don't know how big a problem we have with people releasing feral hogs right now, but I hope it's small. But they are serious about this. You still cannot transport a feral hog. You cannot release a feral hog into the wild, whether it be on private or public land. You cannot release them. So they're tightening the restrictions on that a little bit. And any fines that are collected from related to releasing these wild hogs, these feral hogs, will go to the Feral Hog Eradication Funding Group under the Arkansas Natural Resources Commission. So this will go to buy more traps for our natural resource conservation districts, things like that, to where we can really try to address the wild hog problem we're having here in Arkansas. This is, of course, not an all-encompassing type bill. We're not going to eradicate feral hogs with one Senate bill, but hopefully it's a step in the right direction. So we want to try to be supportive of that. But with that, I know went through 5, pretty big bills for Arkansas agriculture. It was a busy week at the state capitol, and will continue to be busy through the remainder of the session. I might have mentioned in the past, hopefully they're looking to get out of session sometime around mid-April, and so legislatures are working hard. They're getting tired though, and they're getting ready to go home too. So we'll see if they don't wrap it up here, by the middle of April. But there's still a lot of work to be done. We're going to be there keeping an eye out for you, the Arkansas beef cattle producer. And if you have any questions, like I've always said, please let us know. We want to be here to help you in whatever ways we can. So, the office phone number, 501-224-2114. Feel free to give us a call at any time. We'll help you the best we can. I hope everybody has a great weekend and is looking forward to some spring weather coming up. Thanks. Have a good day.